want to know how old I am, I just came across this was our 25th reunion from high school. I once was young. I was born January 4th, 1932, which makes me 90 years old. My parents told me I was in church at 3 weeks old. And as I remember it, not then, but as I got a little older, I loved to go to that church. When I was in junior high, I got on the bus, went to Pomona, where there was a Christian bookstore, and bought a leather-bound Bible with gilt edges. That summer, I sat at home under the grape arbor and read that Bible from beginning to end. I didn't understand a lot of it at that age, but I loved it. We had a youth group, I think it was on Tuesday night, and he drilled that verse into us from all different directions because he thought it was so important we learn it when we were young, that our lives are not our own, we want to go on to know him. And then that song we used to sing, and I seldom hear that anymore, but it's so true as you're all on the altar, because a lot of people think they can be Christians and still live like they want to. And you can, but it doesn't bring what you want. You cheat yourself. When I was 15 years old, just after my sophomore year in high school, the Sunday after school was out, I was in a terrible accident with my aunt. By the time my father got to the hospital, I was unconscious, had internal injuries, broken bones, punctured lung. The doctor said, "We don't think she'll make it." Well, I spent 2.5 months of summer in bed. And by the time summer was over, I barely made it back to school. But I was back in school, and I thought, Lord, why did this happen to me? And I realized God had a purpose. I thought, what is he teaching me? What does he want me to know? She goes by Annie.
I find that God really has to knock me over the head sometimes to get my attention. When I mention the accident and the different things that have happened to me, it brings you up short, and you figure, I'm not adequate. I have to have the Savior. After I had been teaching for about 4 years, life had not been good at our house for quite some time because I had a husband who professed to be a Christian but was living in very sinful ways. And it was affecting our family, our children. So as I was praying, it was a very interesting thing. God brought to mind something that my husband had said many times. He said, if you ever leave, you're not coming back. One day he was really angry and took off in a huff, and he didn't come back for several days. And when he came back, I said, remember what you told me. It goes for you too. You're not coming back. He was a big man. He was a strong man, and that could have been the end of me. But somehow God he knew I meant it. And so he left. That left me in a hard place because the 3 children and teachers in those days did not make much money. But I knew God could take care of us. As we went on, it was amazing the things that God did. He took care of us. We always had food, a place to live. We had clothing. We were not wealthy. Well, when anyone thinks they have it all figured out, I always think back to those old verses in Isaiah that are so precious. He was pierced for our transgressions. We're nothing in ourselves. He was crushed for our iniquities. The punishment that brought us peace was on him, and by his wounds we are healed. All we like sheep have gone astray. We've turned everyone to his own way, And the Lord has laid on him the iniquity of us all. And when I think through my past and my children's past, how could he do it for us? So precious.